said the rhythm with the brass is mass. Why, the rhythm with the brass is mass. Somebody say rhythm with brass is mass. Rhythm, yeah. Rhythm with brass is mass. Take rhythm in the rhythm with brass is mass.
My name is Etienne Charles.
And I'm Nicholas Huggins.
Together we are collaborating on a new mass for 2024 called Magnificent. A tribute to the Magnificent Seven.
And I would say a tribute to the magnificent people of Trinidad and Tobago.
We are magnificent people with a magnificent history, and we continue to move forward in our excellence, in our remembrance. And for me, this mass is also about promoting restoration versus reconstruction or demolition. Nicholas, what do you think?
Definitely agree. I think that basically preserving our history, whether it's buildings, whether it's different aspects of culture, is one of the most important things you can do as a country, as a people, you know.
Train is coming down. Yeah, train is coming.
Band is fun. It's a sailor mass. You ever play sailor mass?
Never played Sailor Mass before, so this will be my first time.
So this is my full circle, because my first time playing mass, I was a sailor, so I'm excited.
Full circle like the savannah.
Keep it. I said to keep it. Everybody keep it. Rhythm, brass, mass.
Good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where the Magnificence is here with us. Joining us this morning is Mr. Etienne Charles, who we just saw was a sailor for the first time and making it full circle like the Savannah. I like that.
Exactly.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Anke. It's so great to be here. Good to be back home.
In person.
In the flesh,
It's
as opposed
been,
to...
it's been virtual for so many times.
Yeah,
because, of course, we do check in with you regularly as you continuously I want to say reevaluate how you present things, just because you've done the music, you give us albums, but every so often the events just change a little bit more and more and more. Nice to see you and Nicholas collaborating again.
Exactly.
And it's apt because this month being our Steel Pan celebration month, you guys collaborated on our Google Doodle for Steel Pan. Full circle like the Savannah.
Full circles. We
I
like
like
circles.
it, I like it.
We like circles.
And clearly, like the frames too.
Circles, yeah, exactly. Hey, and your earrings. Hey.
We have real things that we're working on this morning. But first, we have to tell people about what you guys are talking about in the visuals as well. A top secret location to an event to celebrate us. Yes?
To celebrate us. So tonight we launch our new carnival band, Magnificent, for 2024. It's a sailor mass in tribute to the Magnificent Seven. And very excited about collaborating again with my fellow Bishop Anstey Junior School alumnus, Nicholas Huggins, who I started working with many years ago now, and it's just been blossoming and flowing. And so now we're like, you know what, how do we continue to have visual artists that have a say inside of what's going on in mass, kind of the same way that Minshall did, and kind of like the same way that Wayne, because they were great visual artists as well. And so I said, well, why don't we bring this into the carnival space?
Now, when you talk about bringing it into the carnival space, specifically visual arts, and the visuals of the Magnificent Seven being so prominent, what form does that take? Because this is as you say, sailor mass, that usually doesn't have too much costuming.
Exactly.
So how are we getting that visual?
I won't give away too much because it's something that you have to see to believe tonight. And so I'm excited about that. The launch is it's at the secret location, which I will reveal right now. It's at Queen's Hall in the lobby. And there'll be a full live band performing. There'll be a rhythm section performing. And we have some very special guest vocalists as well, who will remain nameless right now.
Okay, so many surprises. I'll take the one that we got in the location, but that's apt because, I mean, the Magnificent Seven, the Savannah, Queen's Hall makes sense.
Exactly.
Granted, though, that it's happening tonight, if persons wanted to get in on the action, can they still get tickets?
It's free with RSVP. It's free. All you have to do is WhatsApp 79-BRASS.
79-BRASS. That's easy to remember.
79-BRASS.
All right, and they can get in and see all of these visuals. What about registration? Because somebody was in my ear saying they're registering for next year one time.
Registration will begin tonight.
Right.
And it will begin in person tonight, and then on Monday it will begin online on my website, etiennecharles.com.
Now, I know we will come back to the specifics of that party because I'm going to find out who is going to be there, by the hook or the crook. But there's so much more that is happening with Etienne Charles because we also have music to talk about. Albums and things?
We have a new CD.
Nice.
This one is called Live in San Francisco.
Volume 1 means there should be more.
Exactly. This volume 2 is actually ready, mixed and mastered.
What's that?
Already. I'm just waiting for this one to get some legs, and then we're going to drop volume 2. It's a great band. We recorded last year in March at the Black Cat in San Francisco, and this is actually yours.
What's that?
Yeah, this is yours. And so, yeah, it's a fun album. It's a double CD, so that's plenty of music.
I was just going to get into it. The fact that it's hefty means that we have how many songs
There
on
are
it?
2 CDs and a beautiful booklet. The liner notes were written by a great Trinidadian jazz writer and music critic named Kevin Legendre. He's the top music writer in London and the UK, and he's written great books on. He wrote a great book on Black London, so he did the liner notes. And I'm very excited about it. It's kind of full circle again. We recorded, this is the first time I was able to record Winifred Atwell's music.
Oh, wow.
So she's been one of my favorites for years, and I find, let me start digging into her compositions. So as, talking about full circle, she wrote a piece called Coronation Rag for when the Queen was coronated however many years ago. And so I was like, well, why don't you so we recorded it, and we also recorded a piece of music in tribute to Hazel Scott, who's another great Trinidadian pianist. And that piece is called Gentle Jesus, Meek and Mild, which is the first tune that she ever played at the piano.
Right. Now, I'm not going to give away too much. I'm seeing a lot of credits, though, in terms of the big names that would have partnered with you. But I know for a fact, in the past, a lot of your recordings had to be composited, almost because persons are in different parts of the world. Was this a similar type of creation?
That we were all on the stage together, breathing each other's air. Actually, a very tiny stage in a very tiny jazz club in a very energetic and historic part of San Francisco, an area called the Tenderloin, which is where jazz used to really thrive in San Francisco before it moved to the Fillmore district. So again, we go in full circles with the Mass Band, we in the Savannah, because this is next year is going to be the 105th anniversary of Carnival in the Savannah.
In the Savannah, yeah, that's right.
So we
then Real Cats on the back this morning.
Yeah, we draw in circles.
That makes complete sense, though, pun intended with the completion, because in terms of albums, creating music, putting that out, it's something that you continuously do, not just for the season. So as much as this is very jazz specific, and the location, of course, now makes a lot more sense. I was about to ask why San Francisco. The fact that you have the second volume already ready means that there's a lot more to come on the jazz front. What about going back to the Mass and the Carnival? Will we have Carnival-specific CDs and releases as well?
I feel like I cued you beforehand because I left the studio at 2 o'clock this morning, down by Kyle Phillips.
Oh boy!
In San Fernando, in Palm East.
Yes, outside.
And we're working on instrumental soca. In the spirit of people like Joey Lewis, in the spirit of of bands like Troubadours, and we're going to actually premiere it live tonight.
Only more reason to head down to Queen's Hall.
And one of the vocalists who will be there tonight, I have a tune that I'm collaborating with, and we will premiere that tune tonight as well. So I'm actually actively continuing, kind of when I did Magic with Kes. And then when we did Is We and Santi Manity with True Canal, so I was like, you know what, well, now let me kind of move forward with that and start coming with my own tunes, my own, so here we are. So we bring in tune for the season.
I love it. And granted that those persons are persons you've worked with and big hits, I expect that they'll be there tonight.
It's going to be a special.
He is not telling me anything. I am trying here. But all right, we'll take it because it makes sense to come on down. There is no cover charge. You just have to RSVP. So why not? Now, what time is this supposed to start?
It starts at 6 p.m. and we're out sharp at 10 p.m.
Of course, Queen's Hall
Quick and
is
easy.
on the nose with that. Nothing new to you though, because these are the types of performances and halls that you're used to performing
Exactly.
in. Let's go back to the road though, because as much as we launch in Magnificent and we still creating this visual experience, what we know is that we have big names that join you on the road. We have Maximus Dan, we have Lord Nelson from that. You know, how are you going to top yourself? Who can we expect, and how does that texture from the halls of Queen's Hall and the stages translate onto the road?
You know, it's really interesting that you brought that up, because when I started this whole thing with my Carnival, the Sound of a People project, which was a jazz album, series of compositions in tribute to all of the different Carnival characters, groups, rituals, and the history of Carnival, because I see Carnival as a way that we can have an active dialogue with our past. And I was on stage at Queen's Hall and I said, you know, ladies and gentlemen, Carnival is many things, but Carnival is not here on this stage, really. Carnival is on the road. So one of the most important things is about bringing what I do to the road. And so as a lover of soca and calypso and pan for many years, my first experience on the road was playing pan. And so I always wanted to have the legends on the truck, because it's a way to give them their flowers while they're here. And so many of them, it was their first time on a truck.
Really?
Lord Nelson's first time performing on a truck was in my band. Baron's first time performing on a truck was in my band. And
Wow.
and so it showed me that so many legends don't get access to that space, and there's a different way of performing when people are standing at the side of a truck watching you.
Right,
To be able to play My Lover with Lord Nelson or Disco Daddy with Lord Nelson on it. So these are rushes that I have been lucky to have, and I'm lucky to say that our masqueraders get to enjoy these unique experiences in a live setting, because it's about live music on the road.
And I give you real big kudos for having Lord Nelson keep his clothes on, because you know he's a man who stripped down and things. So maybe this year or next year rather on the road, we shall see how he behaves. But for now, I want to encourage everybody to be a part of the Magnificent band launch. It's happening tonight, and he's finally revealed that it's at the Queen's Hall, 6 p.m. sharp till 10 p.m. tonight. And who knows who will pop up with Etienne Charles. But he has popped in to give us so many updates, so much good music and good vibes, that you are welcome whenever next you touch the soil.
Thank you so much, Anka.
Guys, we are going to still try to find out who is going to be in the concert by asking you some questions after the break. But you don't want to miss anything on the Now Morning Show, so stick around. We return after these messages.
Brass is mass. Rhythm with the brass is